Hello, Formula One fans. We're back. We are back. And I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think we've got some energy left in the tank. Do you know what? I feel like a steward that's just got to the bottom of the paperwork from the Mexican Grand Prix. I've just made my way through all of the incidents and I'm finally just catching up with Brazil. Completely missed the weekend, but I was still working hard I was doing my admin. My name's Dan, joined by AV. Great weekend of Grand Prixing.
Yes, big Grand Prix business. And those stewards that were busy from Mexico, still busy. They've gotten to the end of their to-do list, and then guess what? There's more stuff on the to-do list for tomorrow from that Grand Prix. And we'll make you wait for it, but we will have some opinions on a little bit of OP business later on. We'll say from the top, though, first of all, Dan's away again, so apologies if he doesn't sound quite as rich and crisp and even as he usually would. And if you are enjoying the podcast in general, if this is your first episode, it's probably too soon. But if you've listened to one of these before and you're listening again, it's time to subscribe, it's time to follow, it's time to leave us a review or something like that, because individual little clicks like that make all the difference with us being able to bring more people into our cute little community. And Dan's got a lovely shirt on. If you're watching the video version, Dan looks incredible this evening.
Do it for the carpet shirt.
There you go. There you go. Maybe if we ever get some lap down merch, can we get one of those shirts, but in something lap downy?
Yeah, I like that.
This is not great chat for an audio medium, but hey, it will entice people to go and look at the video because it is a banging shirt.
Subscribe on YouTube as well.
There you go. It is worthwhile. I'm going to kick us off with something that we have said multiple times. Good God, Brazil is a wonderful place to go motor racing. Why do we not go motor racing there every weekend? Why are we not sprinting there next year when we've proven this time that sprints work quite well when they're on good tracks where you can overtake? And I just don't know why anyone ever says anything apart from why aren't we always in Brazil?
I like Brazil.
Yeah.
I do like Brazil. Hey, did you get any backlash from your Senna slagging session you did the other week?
We actually this is a wonderful segue from you, actually. We have to introduce a new staff member on the podcast. Ooh. While you've been away, Dan, I've done some hiring.
ChatGPT.
Formula One teams like to poach, don't they, and gardening leaves, and they bring people from one team to another. I've made a signing. We have signed our own Bernie Collins. It's not actually Bernie. We've got Rosie Collins. Now, Rosie a couple of times has politely and very kindly fact-checked us. And so...
Oh, Rosie, I have a feeling you and I might not get on here.
Rosie is now part of the team. She's in. She's our fact checker. She will always be a week behind. So what we're going to have each time is basically fact checking with Rosie as a podcast segment on the next episode. Like how they publish the corrections in the newspaper, we're going to have our Rosie Collins fact checking and
How
updates.
much are we paying her? Because she's going to be really busy.
She's being paid in the fact that we're going to call her Rosie Collins and we're saying hello to her on the podcast. She doesn't even get merch because there's no merch.
None merch.
But no, on the Senna stuff, Rosie did provide a little bit of background knowledge for us on, which I think you said at the time you weren't sure what the connection was to Kimi. So it's not so much a fact check, it's a fact fill-in. We're being filled in by Rosie Collins.
Well, this is a different job title. We're going to have to go back and check the CV.
But basically, he has said a number of times Senna is his favourite driver, and there is sort of a little bit of a connection there. But Rosie down in at the Sky Pad, we need a new name for that because the Sky Pad's sort of probably copyrighted. So come up with it from the lap pad. Lap pad? The lap pad. Down at the lap pad. Rosie did sort of agree with us, though, that it was maybe a genuine gesture from him that got a little bit PR'd externally, which I think, to be fair, we can all agree with. You didn't get to see the live full broadcast, but there was some absolute wank-off business on Senna in the cool-down room, unnecessarily so. He was on the wall, big boy mural on the wall of Ayrton, and then once they decided they'd had enough cool-down room, the cameraman has whipped around to the wall that had all the winners on it and sort of showed a couple of his wins and then did a dramatic move over to where they'd already put Lando Norris on the wall. So shout out to the F1 vinyl guy because he works quickly. But yeah, no, I've had enough Senna. Please and thank you. Let's pick another driver for the time being.
Cool. Well, we'll have the same conversation in 12 months' time. Good news, though. I'm sure what we'll be able to do when we go to Vegas is talk about the great American Formula One driver of
Danica
modern
Patrick.
history. No, I don't think she ever drove in Formula One. I don't know how she ever drove anything, to be fair. But Scott Speed, did he drive a Formula One car at some point? I mean, it's going to be
His name's not actually Scott Speed.
Scott Speed.
You can't be a racing... oh, my God. There's a racing driver whose name is Scott Speed. What in the Disney Pixar is that?
It's like Max Power.
That's incredible.
Yeah. See,
Wow.
the thing is, he would be a contender for preferred driver of the Lap Down podcast. I gave that a really, really fancy acronym the other day, didn't I? I can't remember what it is.
Oh, yes. PDOTLP.
Plopped.
The Lopet.
Anyway, what was I talking about? Scott Speed, Las Vegas. He's dog shit, so we won't be talking about him anyway.
Also, great knowledge, though. Sorry, I'll just give you a shout out. Yeah, 2006 to 2007, Formula One. He's in.
Super Aguri or someone like that, maybe.
He at the Canadian Grand Prix, he took part as a test driver for Red Bull. He also went on to test drive the United States Grand Prix. Following its purchase of Minardi, Red Bull announced the creation of the Scuderia Toro Rosso with Speed and Vitantonio Luisi as its drivers.
Yeah, he wasn't very good either. Anyway, moving on, we'll see Senna in 12 months' time because Brazil will have achieved nothing in the world in the next 12 months, and we'll still have to talk about Ayrton Senna. Like Felipe Massa, Rubens Barrichello, those kind of guys, yes, fine, they didn't win the world championships, but they're a bit more modern history. Like, can we not just bring those guys out for a bit? Have Brazil never done anything other than deforestation and a whole load of cattle herds?
Tell you who didn't do anything Brazilian-wise, Gabriel Bortoleto. I mean, what an absolute howler of a weekend that bloke's had. I felt bad for him.
He turned up.
He completed about 40% of one lap in 3 days.
He turned up with a special helmet that we didn't talk about for the Grand Prix. We knew it was probably going to happen. It did look really nice, didn't it? And he decided to throw it in the wall in both of the sessions. Did he even do any practice? He obviously missed the actual race qualifying because he fucked his car the moments before, so that didn't happen. Yeah. I mean, that's a weekend forget. I don't think we're going to be talking about Gabriel Bortoleto as the driver for the Brazilian Grand Prix anytime soon if he continues with that. And quite frankly, I'm prepared to sack him from our and just move on with our lives and get through the rest of the season without a driver.
You say that though. We actually talked. I can't remember if this is something we spoke about on the podcast last time, or if this is something that me and you just talked about in one of our many shit discussions about Formula One. You said that you were a little bit concerned. Perhaps he wasn't on the pace that he needed to be to remain the preferred driver of the Lap Down podcast, because as we all know, that's not based on track performance. That's based on things. Kinks and fetishes and all the rest of it.
Absolutely.
I saw a TikTok the other day that was over a minute long of him being presented with an Italian brain rock Tung 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 Sahua action figure. And then a montage of all the times that he said Tung 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 Sahua, and then he started beating Mattia Binotto with a Tung 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 Sahua baseball bat. So that has bought him at least another 2 weeks in my book.
Yeah. He's still yellow at the minute.
Yeah.
He's still down. But okay, I'll buy into that. He's had a good second sector.
Yes. He's lost time, locked up into T1, but made up time down that back straight. Yeah. Good through the middle sector. Just needs to go well as he climbs up the hill. And
he's sacked at the end of the year anyway because Valtteri's coming in.
Exactly. He is on seriously thin ice. He's playing the Colapinto role now, quite literally. In that Colapinto had this before as the preferred driver role and his day-to-day at Alpine, where he was just constantly thinking, am I about to be sacked? So we're cutthroat. We are cutthroat.
Yeah, we're brutal.
Yeah.
It's just tough sport.
Yeah.
But yeah, poor old Gabby.
Yeah. Hey, I think it highlighted, though, and I think across the weekend, actually, people forget how hard it is to drive a Formula One car, I think. And I think people overlook the skill of these drivers at times. Obviously, we all talk about how good Max is, and that is absolutely true. But you only had to look at 3 cars going off at the same corner at exactly the same time for making the same tiny mistake, and how being 10 centimeters left and going over a little bit of curb that just meant you lost your traction pack and now you're in the wall. it can be easy to forget because they look so on rails 98% of the time that I think people probably don't give them enough credit for how good they are and how hard those things are to get around 2 miles of track facing forwards
at 100 miles an hour. We're
Plus,
we're an incredibly ignorant species, aren't we?
Oh yeah.
It's not a case of forgetting because none of us have ever done it. We can't forget something we've never done, but suddenly all of a sudden with absolutely no proof or no backing or no history or no evidence or nothing to suggest that we'd ever be any good at anything, we suddenly turn around and go, well, he's a bit shit, isn't he? Well, that looks easy. I could do that. It's fine. I drove down to Tesco's in the Corsa. I could do that. Well, I play a bit of cricket on a Saturday. I could face Joffre. Oh, I could do it. It's like we're a bit knobby as a species. And I know this is kind of becoming a bit more of a whole encompassing kind of podcast that we're going through onto this section. But when you really think about it, how can any of us sit there and turn around and critique or say how hard it is to do one of these things that, quite frankly, I mean, maybe triple figures of people walking the earth that have ever driven a Formula One car? If it was double, I wouldn't be shocked. But if it's triple, I don't think it's many more than 103 or something like that. There'll be obviously a few of the older boys still kicking about. But if you turn around and told me that currently walking this planet all around the world, there are currently like 67 ex and current Formula One drivers on this planet, I'd go, do you know what? I believe that. Yet all of a sudden we decide to listen to Dave from Newport Pagnell, who drives a transit van Monday to Friday, delivering Tesco's groceries to people.
Yeah, 100%. And I think it's the same. It's not even just about the drivers. It's the same with strategy. I've seen a lot of chatter about why the hell did Red Bull, pit again to take Max out of and drop position or whatever. And it's like, well, absolutely you are entitled to an opinion. And I think maybe the phrasing is the big issue. Go like, oh, maybe they could have kept him out there. Was it worth rolling the dice, track position? You've got nothing to lose type thing. But you don't know more than Hannah Schmitz. I can guarantee you that. Whoever is watching this, apart from Hannah Schmitz or Bernie Collins, you do not know more than Hannah Schmitz in that situation about what the optimum strategy was for the best outcome for that team. And it's not even just Hannah Schmitz. They've then got, I mean, I don't know if you've toured the Red Bull F1 factory before. It's quite a cool tour.
Do you know, I haven't actually. But I do consider myself more qualified to make in-action race decisions with regards to what tyres Formula One cars should be currently on.
Yeah, but they have a full like NASA control room theatre thing that seats about 50 people.
Yeah, but I've got an iPhone.
All the strategists are sat there that people I think forget as well. It's not just one strategist making the decision. It is computers and 50 people back at base and then the drivers and all the rest. It's like, you can say, oh, I'm surprised they didn't consider this, but I don't think you can tell them that they got it fundamentally wrong by doing something like that.
But what if I told you this iPhone has access to social media accounts?
How many?
And I have a typing finger.
There it is.
That I can come. No, you're right. I mean, it's the wording of it, and I think it just goes back to the point I've just made. Everything's so extreme.
Yeah.
It's wrong. It objectionably just isn't.
Yeah.
And you don't know at the time that you absolutely word it and just turn around and go, I wouldn't have done that. You still got nothing to base it on, but that's okay. I wouldn't have done it. Absolutely fine. You can't just turn around and go, well, shit decision that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What did they do that for?
It also, I don't even, in this particular instance, if we're now going to do the thing that we just said not to do, I don't even think it was wrong. I think it was safe. And the risky thing, and I don't think it would have worked. I think people are forgetting just how quickly Lando was closing in on Max when those tyres were dropping off, and there was still like 18 laps to the end of the Grand Prix or something. He was going to get swallowed up. It was an inevitability. Arguably, yes, the sod it, let's have a go approach. See if it happens. Who knows? Yeah. Maybe Lando makes a lunge and then clips your back tyre and spins himself into the wall. Sod it, we'll have a look. It was the safe option. He came straight back to P2 and was... came back to P3. Yeah. One more lap. He's P2, I think, on Kimi. Kimi was starting to panic.
Yeah.
Well done. He started in the pit lane, for fuck's sake.
Of course, and mathematically, and this might be a nice little segue to move on, but I mean, he's still in the World Championship battle. yes, fine, mathematically, and like we spoke about in the pre-Brazil episode that we did at 4 days ago now, we said about it being a big moving weekend, and there has been big moves for multiple different reasons, but he's still there.
Yeah.
He's still in contention. It was safe, but kind of an acknowledgement, I think, of the fact that they are still in it. And it's not a case of, well, we've got nothing to lose now. They have got something to lose. They've certainly got second place available now. Yes, they are further behind mathematically than where they were when they started the weekend, up to pick up first place in the World Drivers' Championship, but they're still there or thereabouts. They're not done yet.
Yeah. Yeah, that championship race now is now into needs a DNF territory, isn't it? And it's we talked about this as well a couple of weeks ago. We are very good at patting ourselves on the back with Hamilton. But
well, who needs a Rosie Collins?
Who needs a Rosie Collins? We do, because we get a lot of stuff wrong. But it was always such an outside chance.
Person?
What was that?
Is Rosie Collins actually a real person?
Yes.
No, genuinely, you're not just winding me up, and it's
well,
not like
her surname isn't Collins. I've chosen for the effect of Bernie Collins to Rosie Collins, but we do have a Rosie, yes.
Okay, I'll buy it. Okay, nice. You haven't just like convinced me that there's some form of like Taiwanese new AI agent that's available on Android or something that's currently called Rosie Collins, and we've run through our podcast and it's listened to it and it's decided to fact check everything that we've said. Actually, a human being.
My assumption is actually a human being. Yes.
Got you. Okay, so it could be an AI agent.
For all we know, absolutely.
Well,
what's going to happen now? Sorry, we're going to get fact checked by Rosie Collins on whether or not Rosie Collins is a person or not.
Well, the thing is, that to me proves that they're listening. So I tell you what, I'll err on the side of caution. I think I'll be a bit nicer.
Yeah, that's a good shout. That's a good shout.
Thanks for your hard work, Rosie.
But no, we are into the stage now, aren't we, where it's not in Max's hands anymore now. And what we were talking about the fact that it's going to start getting so tight. And I'll use another cricket analogy. It's a T20, situation where you're close to the required rate, but if you need to go at 15s and you go at 13s in 2 overs time, when there's 3 overs to go, you now need to go at 22s, and that rate just climbs really quickly, and the rate has climbed really quickly. But fuck me, it's a good drive. It's a seriously good drive. Scary drive. I think like that's flashback shit. That is of just a complete dominance era. He was just pissing past wherever he fancied pissing past, and then he was doing side quests of extra pit stops and punctures and all the rest of it. Fair play, Maxwell.
He's done it before as well.
Yes, too often.
Like genuinely has done it before. He loves the place. I think he might love the place more than you and I love the place.
Yeah,
and absolutely just so good, just really, really good. We don't give him enough credit, I don't think, on this podcast. A lot of when we started, to be fair, I mean, he was never in discussion because he was never even featured in the broadcast. Yeah. He was gone and done. So he never got airtime. And if he had, all we would have been able to have done is just gone, oh, it was good, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Right, should we talk about something else? So, yeah, superb. And it's nice to, I'm sure the diehard Max Verstappen fans are a bit pissed off that they're not there or thereabouts or closer, or they might feel robbed for a particular moment or whatever might have happened throughout the course of the season. But we're not. I wouldn't have said we're die-hard supporters of anybody on the grid. So,
racing.
Yeah, Grand Prixing.
Yes.
So to be able to kind of detach yourself and enjoy it, and to see him actually have to work hard for it, and I think that's where a lot of people have got a little bit disengaged with him, is because that, yeah, hats off, phenomenal driver, hats off, incredible effort to do what he's done. But when you're unchallenged for so long, it's just boring.
Yeah.
And this wasn't. And he's good.
Yes, he is.
We knew that.
And actually, to be that moves on to another point that I wanted to make, which it's back to your social media point to a certain extent, and it's a lot of keyboard warrior stuff. But I can't wait to see what excuses the Lando haters come up with for that win and the last couple of wins, and what extents and extenuating circumstances they reach for, apart from just saying, good drive, well done. Like, how hard is that? Like, you don't have to like the bloke to say, good drive, well done.
It doesn't get you many likes or engagements, though, does it?
No.
And we seem obsessed with it. Do you know what? I saw an advert pop up today and I sent it to my brother, and it was some bloke. I don't know who he is, some blonde-haired bloke. and it was like 5 questions on there, and it was essentially kind of saying, join my course.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, don't feel confident in front of camera, don't know what content to make, don't know how social media platforms work. And I read through it and I thought, do you know, maybe it probably just isn't for you. Like, but yeah, go on then. You go and get your coin. Go and con people out of whatever money, because everybody seems to be desperate to get some form of likes and engagement. Like this for me, and I think it probably is for you. Like, it's just a really nice way to stay engaged about the sport and watch it and enjoy it. And if people listen to it, great. If this podcast never got a listen, I'd still quite enjoy doing it, to be fair. Just 2 mates having a chat. I'm not sitting there going, oh, shit, I don't really know what to do. And at that point there, probably shouldn't do it. Anyway, everybody wants to be social media famous. So, and if you get 3 likes on a post that you call Lando Norris a cunt because he had the best weekend of his life, like he topped everything, good for you.
Yeah.
Just do you. Wherever you are in the world, we see you. We see you. We're not going to like you, but you do you.
Yeah. No, absolutely valid. Absolutely valid. Hey, before we talk about Oscar Piastri, because we've got some stewarding to do.
I'm grumpy today, aren't I?
Someone's tired.
I've had 2.5 hours sleep in the last 48 hours.
I just want to flag up, and I like doing a lot of shout outs, but I feel so bad for Angela Cullen at the minute, because I know it's her job, right? But when you see her trailing behind Lewis Hamilton by 2 or 3 steps, and she's smaller than he is, right? And he's got a bit of a gait on. So she's sort of half running, trying to keep up. And it looks like they're a couple on holiday that have had an argument over the buffet. He's still got his helmet on. He's not looking back. She's following after him. She's sort of carrying a clipboard and their head device and a drink bottle and stuff. And it's like, I know that's how it's meant to go, but I feel really bad for her. And I just want to help her. I just want to carry the bottle for her or something. Like, can we not just hold hands with Angela as we storm off, Lewis, please?
Yeah. They really like each other, don't they, as well?
Yeah.
And it does just look odd, doesn't it?
And that's why I know it's all bullshit. Like, I know how he brought her back to Ferrari. I know how well they get on, but it just doesn't look like it.
It's definitely got the look of, as you say, like 2 people have just sat by the pool all afternoon and they've kind of gone, and the wife's gone, go on, you pick dinner tonight. You pick where we go. And the bloke's gone, yeah, no worries, fine. Not really stressed about it. And it's been like, where are we going then? Well, we'll figure it out later. Where are we up to then? We'll figure it out later. And eventually it's got to the point the bloke's gone, well, look, if you just want to choose, it's fine. No, it's fine. It's your choice. It's your choice. You. And they've got themselves dressed up. They've headed down the marina or the beach or wherever, and they're walking along, and the bloke goes, I thought we'd pop in here. And Angela goes, no, I don't like it in there. And he's just gone, right, back to the buffet.
Yeah, back to the buffet. But yeah, I just go on, Angela. Love your work. Well done. You're doing tremendous.
Team Ange.
Right then, come on. Time to be a steward. Oscar Piastri, turn 1, Kimi Antonelli, Charles Leclerc is an absolutely innocent bystander. Who was at fault? Should it have been a penalty? Is it a racing incident? Go.
Oscar, yes, no.
Ooh, here we go. Elaborate, please, sir.
So, it's not a racing incident.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, it is, because everything's a racing incident, isn't it?
It happened in a race. It was an incident.
The big kind of percentage loss that you get here is the fact that it wasn't lap 1. Lap 1, turn 1. If that had happened on lap 1, turn 1, everybody would have just turned around and said, oh, unlucky Charles, you've died. You're in. Yeah. You lost this eliminator round of Hunger Games, because anybody can do whatever they want lap 1, turn 1, and it's fine because it's a racing incident. That didn't happen. It happened later on in the Grand Prix. 3 in there probably is room and space, but it takes an awful lot of people to be really cooperative in order to make that happen. And probably the 2 people on the outside lose out massively. It was something I thought about because I read something, and the big thing I saw was, and I thought you were going on a different angle, but it was like, why didn't McLaren appeal it? Mm-hmm. And that obviously is a whole different kind of conversation. Was it a penalty? Yes. And I think the reason why was because of the lockup. And I don't exactly know, clearly I don't exactly know, and I will caveat it because I'm not a keyboard warrior as to what the likelihood is, but I'm just applying some logic here, or at least how I would apply some logic. If you go into that corner and you don't lock up, but you still make contact, I think there's a bigger argument for he turned in on me type thing, because you give the impression that you're in control of the car. Mm-hmm. I think the second that you lock a break up, I think it becomes incredibly obvious, in my opinion, that you've lost control of that moment. You haven't lost control to the point that you've spun around backwards and flown off into the wall and your car's disintegrated. But you don't lock a tyre up on purpose, do you?
Yeah.
You lock a tyre up because you've gone in too hard and you've gone, oh bollocks, and you've had to just press that brake pedal down a little bit harder. It's such a big giveaway for a steward because there's a huge kind of plume of tyre smoke going back down the pit straight. And that's how I kind of compartmentalized it. It's harsh. It doesn't do anything for the World Championship, which is probably what most people are disappointed about. And Oscar feels like the kind of the ugly stepsister that just doesn't really get anything good going for them. And I wonder whether that's why it kind of carried more weight this week than what it might have done if it happened later on.
Yeah. See, I wondered on the lockup. I agree. The lockup makes it look bad because you've got a car coming in smoking into the side of another car. I think some of, and it wasn't, I'll admit, even my initial discourse. It's from what I've seen with, it's Jamie Chadwick at Williams, I think. Did a piece with Karun on the Sky.
Not a Formula One driver, though, so it doesn't count towards my total tally.
True.
But
true. Did a breakdown with Karun, and she was saying in that how she thinks he locked up because Kimi Antonelli turned in, rather than that being how we got to that point, because he's braking for a gap that's there because he was quite alongside, and then Kimi's gone further, turned across, all of a sudden the track that he had to brake with is not there anymore. So as you say, tiny bit more brake pressure because, oh fuck, there's a child in front of me. Tiny bit more brake pressure, lock up into the side. I think it's a consequence of the regulations, and I think I sort of settled on it probably is a penalty, but it shouldn't be, in terms of the guidelines are probably still not quite where they need to be. They've probably been applied properly if we're doing the whole front axle to mirror bollocks.
Yeah.
But that's potentially the problem. And I know we've had this conversation before, and there are infinite numbers of podcasts on the internet that have had this conversation. But I saw a really interesting point on the Oscar Piastri penalty of, is the apex rule the problem? And that it's not the rule as a whole, and we're fine with the front axle and the mirror, but we need to bring that point backwards to turn in, not apex. Because if you have to have your front wheel alongside the mirror of the other car at the point that you start turning into a corner, that takes away what we've talked about a bunch of times, where one of you can just go, well, I'm not going to brake. Because then, of course, I'm going to get to the apex first because I just decided not to slow down. If we bring that point earlier a little bit, does that mean that it takes away that option to just go sort of full ascend?
Yeah.
Of course I'm going to be ahead. I'm going a lot quicker than you are because I wasn't really that fussed about it because I knew you'd, back out, or I knew I was ahead by a foot.
You'd out of it or whatever.
Yeah.
Feels like so many sports, it feels like we've overcomplicated it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
To the point that the rules and the laws and the regulations become just completely non-understandable. Is that even a word? I don't even know if it is. Yeah, fine.
I'll pay it as a word for 3 hours sleep, like.
Thanks for the layman, which is what we are. We're not experts. We aren't able to analyze and really kind of break into what those regulations mean. And yes, and even what we do get shared with, it's a watered down version, isn't it? It's a dumbed down version. So laymen like us can understand it, but are there different things that are there? You kind of wonder back, don't you? And you kind of go, with the overcomplication of it, is there something where you just turn around and go, just stop being a prick? I mean, and that kind of part of it is like, it was opportunistic by Oscar Piastri. There's no way it wasn't opportunistic. Should he have taken his medicine there, waited, because Leclerc was going around the outside of what is it, Antonelli, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And that move then would have been done. Oscar could have gone, right, sin that. I'm going to get him down the next straight and I'm going to carry on. Then the next time round, I've got Leclerc. Was it the first sign? It's different, completely different question here, but was it the first sign of desperation from Piastri as well? Can he, with what he's performed with since Azerbaijan, is he starting to feel now that this World Championship is actually slipping away from him? That was kind of locked on odds-on favourite about a month ago.
Yeah. Yeah, possibly. I think what confused it, I think, and what possibly forced Piastri to make the move in a sense, that he almost didn't have a choice but to try and go down the inside, is the fact that, for all intents and purposes, maybe plus or minus 30 centimetres, he was alongside both of them going into the corner. He was certainly near enough, fully alongside Antonelli by the time they got to the end of that straight.
Just a thought. How close are we to turning on ghosting?
Just why not?
Because
Like,
I mean, that would solve a lot of problems.
just for T1.
No, we'd have to have it everywhere, and it'd have to be really inconsistent. And sometimes people would do half a lap with no cars around them with ghosts. Sometimes you would get near them and you get a bit of net code, and you just go poof, like this, and cars would just go off on the different directions. That feels like the only solution to me.
Yeah.
That feels genuinely the only solution to all of these problems. We can rewrite regulations. We can dumb them down. We can add more to it. We can talk about wing mirrors and axles and tripods and side pods and front nose cones. And did he have the access? Did he lock up? Did he not lock up? Who was in front? Who deserves to be in front? Did he deserve a penalty? Just turn ghosting on, lads. It can't be that hard, can it?
Or sort the ping out. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe they're all on slightly dodgy ping, and that's...
Yeah, it's all yellow.
Yeah. It's not too bad that you almost don't notice it, and that's worse. You think you're fully in sync, but you're just off, and that's what's causing the problem. Yeah, a little bit of rubber banding, of rubber banding business.
Yeah. Good visual demonstration there for the viewers.
Get yourself, if you're not on the video podcast, get yourself on it, because Dan's just done some incredible low ping acting.
First of all, I'm wearing a really snazzy shirt, and secondly, what an actor.
Yeah.
We've got anything else to talk about? Can I go to bed yet?
We just need to talk about the fact
that
11
minutes past midnight.
Just need to talk about the fact that 7 points in total were scored in the Random World Championship on a sprint weekend.
Dreadful. 14-point difference, mate. Now, between the two of us, I've got a 14-point lead with 3 weekends to go. We've still got another sprinty, though, haven't we?
We have got another sprinty. I don't know how this happened, but somehow on the sprint, Fernando Alonso was my lead driver. He pulled 3 points out of that, and Hamilton pulled 2. Because why not? Because why not?
That's why he's the GOAT.
There you go. That's why.
That is why he's the GOAT. That's why he's still driving Formula cars at 143 years old.
Right, Dan, tell them where they can see all of your stuff before you go to bed, my son.
Yeah, Dan Jad's on the internet. Just go and find it there.
There you go. There's all sorts of stuff. There's a new Dan Jad's channel now as well on TikTok that people need to go and find, which is just Dan Jad's doing Dan Jad's things.
I tell you what, we'll talk about it more when I've got words left in me.
There you go. Twitch.tv/HeyLookAtAlex. You can go and see me as well. Do liking and commenting and subscribing and all of that good stuff. Send us an email, lapdownpod@gmail.com if you want. We'll be back next week to talk about the Las Vegas Grand Prix, which is probably going to be a little Red Bull fest, I think, based on previous history. What was that, sorry?
Is it a Disney Grand Prix? There's like a load of like Mickey Mouse F1 merchandise, I think, that I've started to see.
Okay.
Which, do you know, like, I don't know why I'm extending this podcast because it's something to look forward to.
I was trying to wrap it up, and you're now bringing Disney.
Yeah, based on some of the brand collaborations we've seen over the last couple of years, I'm quite curious to see what Disney do with a Formula One weekend. But anyway, that's it. I'm done. I'm pressing stop on the podcast. You can all bugger off. And I mean, if you don't like it for the fact that I've stayed up to 13 minutes past midnight on 3.5 hours sleep on the other side of the world, screw you. See you next time. Bye.